Hey everybody, I have got everybody over here on the bottom of this tank fighting over a couple little shrimp pellets. I've got the two loaches, which you would think would be squabbling over them, but check out how aggressive that little Hillstream Loach is. He is going to town on that shrimp pellet, but watching him attack those loaches like that and go after the loaches was pretty impressive. I've never thought of the Hillstream Loach as being an aggressive fish, but it is not shy. Now, I have seen it come out before and, claim its little piece of whatever. That is just amazing. I have never seen it act that, aggressive towards other animals before. Not even sure where it went now. So I was actually hoping my striped Raphael would come out, which is why I put the shrimp pellets in there instead of the algae wafers. And when I looked over, I noticed, there it is, I noticed the activity of the loaches, and that's when I grabbed my camera. So we're getting a little treat with my Hillstream Loach chasing everybody away from those algae. Let's see what happens when the Siamese algae eater comes up. Man, he's chasing him away, and it's not even the one he's chewing on. So, as I was saying, I have seen, the Hillstream Loach come out when I've crumbled up some algae wafers, and I've seen it come over and claim a piece of algae wafer for itself. It sort of gets over top of it and lays on top of it and doesn't really let anybody else get to it. But I've never seen it chase other fish around the tank like this. Really, really interesting behavior. Now, the loaches do this kind of stuff all the time. Most people think of and refer to the loaches being like a playful kind of fish. Well, I don't know if playing is exactly the right word, but that just goes to show that that's how common that behavior is. They frequently just chase each other around and dart and dash. Again, I've mentioned before that a clown loach is not necessarily called a clown loach because of the way it looks, as much as it is because of the way it behaves. I just cannot get over how aggressive that little Hillstream Loach is. There was a couple times, I swear, you could see it actually biting the other fish. Might have to try me some of them shrimp pellets. They seem awfully popular. Now, this Hillstream Loach is a fish that I don't really talk about a lot, and in reality, it shouldn't even be in this tank. It's been in there since my very early days of fish keeping, and I got it because I thought it was a really cool fish, and I didn't pay too much attention to what its tank requirements were supposed to be. I knew what they were, I just didn't take them that seriously. And they are fish that come from cold water. It's fast moving. They like a really highly oxygenated and a cooler environment, so on and so forth. So this is actually one of my lower temperature tanks. I let this one sit at about room temperature. The only reason there's a heater in this tank is in case something were to happen and the temperature were to drop too low. For some of the fish, it would kick on, but I never see the heater in this tank running. This is definitely one of my coolest tanks. It basically sits here at room temperature. And in the beginning of my fish keeping days, I bought, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 of these Hillstream Loaches, and they just kept dying and dying. And the last time I bought them, I bought a group of them because I thought maybe that's what I needed to do. And I bought 8 of them in a group, maybe 6 of them in a group, something like that. It was a bunch of them. And one by one, they all died off over about the next month or so, except for this one. And as they were dying off, I said, like, that's it, I'm done. I'm not buying any more of these Hillstream Loaches. They obviously don't do well in my water conditions or my tank conditions, whatever it is. They just don't do well in my tanks. And so I never bought any more, but this one just never died. And that's probably 6 or 7 years old now. So, not necessarily a fish I recommend unless you've got the right tank environment for it. As I said, it's got to be a highly oxygenated tank, and it's got to be cooler water. They do like fast moving water. You can see how streamlined their body is. It's basically designed to suction against the rocks as the river flows over top of them. They're almost shaped like an airplane wing in reverse, designed to stick them to the rock. So, again, this tank is probably not the ideal tank for one. And most people probably don't have good tanks for them, but you definitely don't want to try to put that in a tank, that you're running at 82 degrees or anything like that. You're probably not going to have very much success with the Hillstream Loaches. And as I've just seen, they can apparently be aggressive too. So maybe that's something to consider if you're thinking about a Hillstream Loach. So there you go, a little off-the-cuff impromptu video. I was hoping we would actually get to see my red-tail loach. Ooh, wow, it's all the way out. I haven't seen it out of the tank, out of its hiding place in a long time. Again, shrimp pellets will often bring that one out too. So that is my really, really reclusive red-tail loach, or sometimes they're called blue loaches. And I usually see its tail sticking out, like you can see now. That's not uncommon at all. But to see it actually out of the tank, or out of its hiding place and swimming around is pretty interesting. That's another one that's pretty reclusive, and it's also semi-aggressive. And I bought it before I knew that, and it just wound up getting in my tank, and I've just had it in there ever since. And it's always just lived under that tree stump in the corner there. It looks almost like a rainbow shark, but a loach version of a rainbow shark, and it gets pretty big. That's about 6 or 7 inches long, and I think they get maybe up to 10 eventually. Probably just a little smaller than you would expect maybe a clown loach to get ultimately at the end of its life. So there you go, everybody. Thanks for watching that one. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe. You never know what you're going to get with me. And then don't forget, of course, this one here is my gourami tank. So thanks again. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you real soon in the next one.